Hi everyone, my name is Joey Perugino and I'm from Montreal, Canada. And I'm going to be presenting today on developing an agile army in your organization. Before I start though, I'd like to just take a moment to say thanks to the Agile Conference Pakistan 2020 Organizing Committee for all the great work that they have done to put this together. It's a great honor for me to be here with you today. And I just want to say thanks. Great job. So before I start, let me just give you a small overview of what my presentation is going to be about. So first, I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview about me, what I am, who I am. Then we're going to talk about an agile revolution in the workplace. I'll tell you about, I guess, an agile transformation that I took part in that was a fairly good success, and what was the recipe that we used in order to be able to make it happen. We're going to talk about the importance of developing an agile army, an army of people and resources that are there to help you as you try to do your agile revolution in your workplace, and the importance of communicating, and providing training to, I guess, all the members of the organization. So let me start by telling you a little bit about me, as I said. So my name is Joey Perugino. I have a career, I guess, that spans about 25 years now in the fields of project management, consulting, banking, PMO implementations, as well as coaching and mentoring. I've worked with clients of large organizations to help them, I guess, solve challenging project management related projects or problems, and help them create environments in which everything is more conducive to delivering projects in a more standardized, more efficient manner, always with delivering projects on time, on scope, and within budget. I'm a member of the PMI chapters of Montreal, Canada, where I live, and of Guayaquil, Ecuador, which is a country in South America, where my wife is from. They have a small chapter that they opened 2 years ago that is very active. They do a lot of activities. They have conferences, a lot of trainings and things of the sort. And was very happy to contribute by becoming a member and cheering, mostly from a distance because of COVID and things of the sort. I can't really travel very much right now. However, I know that they're doing a great job, and they've become a full-fledged PMI chapter in a very short period of time. So they're really working very hard to spread the good word on project management in their city and in their region, in the coastal area of Ecuador. I'm also, I guess, the host of a project management meetup on the topic of project management. It's called Let's Talk Project Management, Parlons de gestion de projet. It's a bilingual meetup, French and English, because Montreal's a bilingual city. And we used to meet up in person, but since April or so, like everywhere else around the world, we've moved on to holding our meetings online. The positive thing in all of this is that because it's online, I have people from all around the world that occasionally come to my event, to my meetup, and I get the opportunity to exchange and talk with people from different communities around the world. Project management methodology or practices are very similar. However, the cultural aspects can be very different, and that's always very interesting to me. So how did we go about doing an agile revolution in the workplace? Well, it was sort of a five-step approach that was taken by by that organization in phase one. Before they even did anything at all, they just tried to build consensus around the idea that a PMI chapter, that an agile revolution was going to take place at the organization. They were going to try to instill agile practices or change a little bit the mindset from traditional waterfall to doing delivering projects differently. And they wanted to sell them on the idea that we should try this new thing. It's not so new anymore, but it was to this organization to bring in agile ceremonies and teach them about sprints and things of the sort. So they used a 5-phase approach where they spent a considerable amount of time, probably a couple of years, just talking about the fact that they were going to do this, trying to build some support for this big initiative, this big transformation that they were going to bring to their IT department. And that meant creating a lot of, channels of communication, opening channels of communication with people from different areas, with the project managers, with the clients that were representing, for which we were delivering projects at each division, with management, making them understand that reporting was not necessarily going to be the same, and there was a lot of changes that were going to be put forward, but all in the hopes of being able to deliver projects more successfully and saving time and money. Okay, so they created a lot of tools and things of the sort in order to be able to support this initiative. They did a lot of trainings to all the stakeholders that could be impacted, trainings to the project managers that became, in many cases, Scrum Masters, to some developers that became product owners and things of the sort. There was a lot of new people that were taking on new roles that they weren't necessarily accustomed to doing. So as a result, there's a lot of effort. There was a considerable amount of effort that was put into that. And that still is today, maybe 3-4 years after they started this whole process. Then they started training clients on the tools and the different types of things that were going to be that were going to be pushed forward by this transformation. And they spent a lot of time, considerable amount of time, trying to define things that they could measure, that they would be able to report on, KPIs, in order to give progress and things of the sort. So in order to to do this agile transformation, they had to develop a very strong communication plan. And the communication plan essentially was all about introducing or reinforcing 4 key principles, which are, I guess, basic precepts of agility. And they were individuals and interactions over processes and tools. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Working software over comprehensive documentation. Responding to change over following a plan. The whole concept of doing iterations and not having it all figured out before you started a project was a very, very big innovation for them. And a lot of people resisted and still do today. So there's still a lot of work to be done. However, with time, the practices were put into place, and this created a a very big difference in the organization. And it's probably one of the reasons why still today, it's one of the reasons why this agile transformation can be considered somewhat of a success. Okay, so these are the steps to a successful agile transformation. Okay, there's probably more, but I just wanted to take down a few here to talk about them with you. So before you start any big transformation project, you should do an as is. Try to understand the situation as it is right now. Look at the processes, look at the way they do things. Don't go in and try to roll out your new methodology or the new way of doing things right away. Take some time first to have some conversations with people and really understand how they do things. You should establish goals that you will be able to follow, to measure, key milestones, and celebrate when you meet them. Engage everyone and make it a community project, not just the project of one or a few people, but of the whole entire organization. You should align the systems and the organization to the solution that you're trying to put forward. So this alignment with senior management and tools for reporting and the tools that you will use in order to be able to develop and deliver your projects should be aligned with this new change that you're trying to bring forward. You have to institute agile practices, like I said, reinforce always the basic precepts of agility. You have to deliver a lot of training. You have to create a lot of supportive transformation artifacts, a lot of documentation, a lot of things that they can use as reference. In the intranet, for example, of the organization, we have a whole section, that's devoted entirely to the agile transformation, where people can look at videos, see the different tools that we use, get some trainings, a lot of things that they can learn on their own, apart from whatever training that will be given to them or provided to them by the organization. Then there's also every division, every group has an agile coach that is assigned to them. And this agile coach, I guess, is just there to support them because, as I said before, a lot of people are new in the role. They've never been a Scrum Master before. They've never been a product owner before. They've never been responsible for looking over a portfolio of agile projects. You don't report on them the same way. Sprints and burn rates and stuff like that are not the same as following the traditional delivery phases of a project. And like I said, you should measure and adjust wherever is required until you reach the destination. It requires a lot of adjusting, always measuring where am I, what are people telling me, is this good, is this bad, and not being afraid to make tweaks whenever required in order to help you keep moving you forward. Okay, so in order to be able to do an agile transformation, you really have to put extra focus on communication. Training, I've already talked about. Communication, I guess, is one of the key components of any transformation, whatever it may be. There's a lot of resistance to change, and the only way to overcome that is to communicate, time and time again. In order to achieve organizational alignment, employees need to understand the benefits of becoming more agile, the contribution that it makes to them, to the delivery of their own projects, and to the organization as a whole. The entire organization needs to understand the value of the changes that you're trying to put forward, this agile transformation, in order for them to benefit from the rewards, sorry, of achieving true organizational agility. It's an adventure, and everybody has to be on board. But in order for them to be on board, they need to be aligned. They need to understand, why are you doing this? Why am I suffering right now? Why am I going through pain? Why do I need to learn new things? I was delivering projects before. Why do I have to learn something new? The benefits need to, I guess, outweigh the pain, but that only comes with time. So you need to, I guess, reinforce until you start seeing those changes, and you can measure and quantify, I guess, in a real manner, the benefits that were brought over by your choosing the path of going towards agility. One of the most important parts of an agile transformation, and I think that this is something that this organization, where I have a mandate right now, really got right. It's the importance of creating inspiring, creative, and motivating content that will make it fun, I guess, to read, to look at, and things of the sort. One of the things that I think is cool about agility is they have all these really cool drawings, and they have a lot of the ceremonies, and everything that they do is a lot more participative, collaborative than traditional waterfall methodology would be, or the normal way that we go about doing projects. So this is something you really have to think outside of the box and bring things that are going to be interesting, appealing, and that are going to help move forward your message, and have people adapt and adopt what you are trying to do to the organization. So one of the final elements is you need to create a community of people that are behind you. You do that by getting people together. You have to instill communities of practice. And at my organization, this is stuff that we've done. There's communities of practice for the Scrum Masters, for the project managers, for the product owners, for the developers. They all have their communities of practice, and they get together and they exchange on the good, the bad, the lessons learned, things that they'd like to do differently, and things of the sort. And this is stuff that comes up to management, and as a result, they make the adjustments where required, and they really try to listen and I guess get feedback from the people that are out there delivering the projects, which are the project teams, the DevOps teams, the project managers, the Scrum Masters, the product owners, and things of the sort. And this is something that has been seen as a very positive element by stakeholders throughout the organization. It's a sign of positive change in the workplace, where there's a rise in employee-driven communication rather than it being pushed down on them from management. They've really, I guess, went through great lengths in order to be able to, I guess, give us the tools that we needed in order to be able to create dynamic communities of practice. And they've really did a good job with that. So with that, I would just like to once again say thank you very much. It was a pleasure for me to be able to prepare this presentation for you and present on a topic that I'm very passionate about, which is agility and project management. My name is Joey Perugino. You can find me on LinkedIn. I would love to connect with you. And I hope that you will enjoy the remainder of the conference. With that, I say, à la prochaine, au revoir. It was really a pleasure. Thank you, Karachi.